All right, guys, let's walk in. The kids will take showers here. All right, guys, let's go in. It says 121 Polish and Jewish boys were killed in this room. Guys, I see some bullet holes. They always had this occult side about them. This is the area where they would shoot the people. They would execute them by shooting here. War is crazy. Bullet holes. Welcome to Auschwitz, guys. Let's get this video started. Located in Auschwitz, Poland, the Auschwitz Concentration Camp stands as a haunting reminder of one of humanity's darkest chapters. What was once a place of unimaginable suffering and loss now serves as a powerful statement to the resilience of memory and the importance of never forgetting. Join me as we explore the walls of Auschwitz so we can learn about its past, so we don't make the same mistake in the future. What's going on, guys? Welcome to Auschwitz. This is the biggest concentration camp the Nazi Germany regime built, and it's in Poland. All right, I'm starting a video outside the compound right now, and the reason why is because I want to showcase this neighborhood. All right, when they first came to build this complex right here, they literally like evacuated all the neighbors who lived in the area, and they took over like 1,000 homes, and those homes were for the soldiers. They just told us, I don't know what they did with the people they evacuated here, but yeah, they took their homes. And then here, there were homes here as well, but they destroyed them so they can build this huge concentration camp. All right, so we're gonna go inside and I'm gonna see what I can show you from here. Hopefully we can find some tour guide or not. Work with your boy. I'm actually traveling with my bags. I mean, transition to going somewhere new. So I heard there's a storage area, and let's see if I can put that, and then we can get this video started. All right, good news. This place has a storage outside the building. All right, I don't know if they can take my bags, but we're gonna figure out if they can take it. Let's go. All right, guys, so you just come into this building, you get a ticket from here, and you scan it, and it's gonna give you some random number. If you like the position, you say yes or no. You saw my bag, it fits, but I got two, so I'm gonna have to get two of them. They're going for 5 in Polish currency, but I think it's really cheap. I actually was able to get a ticket by walking in. It's free for the moment. However, they have a system of how many people they let in at a certain time, so I can't go into this building yet until 1 o'clock. However, there's actually 3 buildings, right? So Auschwitz is made out of 3 buildings, right? 2 buildings where they kept the people, and then one of the buildings is where they had people working. All right, so we're gonna go to that area first. It's called Auschwitz 3, and yeah, that's where they were working, and this doing slave labor. So the other area is 3 kilometers away from this particular place. So they have a free shuttle. You can come right here and they'll pick you up and bring you over there and bring you back. So I think that's kind of cool. So you can really get the whole experience, and then you have to pay to get to the other side. Speaking about labor and slave labor, a lot of people don't realize that German was also part of slavery. They actually enslaved a lot of black people in their country. And during the whole situation with the Nazi regime taking over the country, Afro-Germans had a big problem. They had to leave. If they got caught, they were either incarcerated or murdered. And it wasn't just Afro-Germans, it was anybody that was against the Nazi regime. They would bring them to concentration camps like this. A lot of people don't realize that black people were here as well as all the other people that were named and brought to this particular place. I come to learn about one of them is a famous black man from Suriname. He had some issues in Suriname. He exiled to Amsterdam, and during that time, he wrote a couple books, and he also joined a freedom fighter group that was against the Nazis. Unfortunately, he got caught, and they put him in a concentration camp, and that's where he passed away. His name was Anti Takong, who was famous for his anti-colonial writings, and this is a statue of him in Amsterdam, in a well-known Afro-Dutch community. Anton represents thousands of black people who were captured under the Nazi regime. Alright guys, we're going through this line right now. Let's check this out.
You can go through. Yes, yeah.
So from my understanding, they would be patrolling outside this area right here. And as you can see, these towers as well. And they call it the area of inspection. Alright, and it'll also be right here just to make sure people don't leave. So I can only imagine what they had here. Maybe they had these mines here or something. So yeah, it wasn't a straight jump or anything. Wow. I didn't expect it would be that much people here, but yeah, it's a lot of people. And I guess we can just walk where we want to walk. So let's see, start doing a little walking ourselves and do a little exploring. All right guys, so let's see if we can see what's inside here. Okay, super dark in there. Have these very dim lights. Honestly, these feels like maybe the camps they would be sleeping in, if anything. Right? And then look, you can sleep right here too. These definitely look like, so perhaps this was still an area for some other people to work, but they would sleep here too. Makes a little bit more sense. Obviously they did some refurbishing, but wow. Surreal. I wonder what, would they write stuff on the wood? Just being so bored, you would think they would write stuff. Perhaps here was the bathroom right here, maybe. Or a place for, I have no idea. Maybe a shower area. Yo, check this out guys. So this barrack is known as the death barrack. It was used to house female prisoners deemed unfit for further labor by the SS. So they just sentenced them to death and they would put them here. But it was so many people they were killing that the women had to wait sometimes several days before it was their turn to be gassed. And while they wait here, they wouldn't give them water or food. So a lot of them, they would just die just based off of the conditions of this place right here. So I forgot what movie I saw, but yeah, they would line them up coming out of a train, or I think I saw train tracks coming in here, and they would just assess who can work, who could not, who was pretty. You know how what went down. And right, people they felt like was worthless, they would kill them. And you see how everything is so spread out? So chances of running and not being seen, at least in the daytime, in the nighttime, even then, you know, I'm sure they had dogs here too. All right, guys, these barracks are a little bit different. All right, these barracks were for the children. They house over 200 of them here, from age 2 to 16. Majority of the ones here were twins, and they would do medical procedures on them. They would test them like lab rats here. So there are people here who come and leave a candle in remembrance of the children. When you watch the depictions of the Nazis, they always had this occult side about them. It was like an obsession for the occult. Some people believe the whole extermination thing started because of these weird beliefs. But man, it's quiet here. I had some friends from Venezuela. This is around 2020, who I met in Colombia, and they wanted to go back home through the border of Colombia to Venezuela. However, they had to stay in a camp, which they thought was going to be for like 2 weeks, but ended up being around 50 days. They sent me some videos, and I can recall one video is where the children were playing. They got back together and they held hope, canceling the noise of what was reality. I can't help but think, in some gruesome way, these kids that stayed here try to keep hope alive. What probably makes this thing a little bit sad for me is how there's a chance that some of these people, their twin must have got separated or passed away from these scientific experiments. I watch a lot of anime, and there's this anime called For Neverland, and it's about children in an orphanage who think they're living the best life ever, but honestly they're just being used for some twisted, sinister situation, and they finally figured it out. And so the orphanage teamed up and banded up to escape their prison. All right, guys, Check this area out. This might have been a area for water, a shower area again, possibly. Yeah, I just can't help but think you could put the soap right here, and the kids would take showers here. All right, guys, so when you come here, they'll actually have a map to give you some better insight on what these buildings stand for. A lot of them have been broken down. So this one right here is the kitchen. Let's see if we can take a quick look. I think they're working on it. A lot of them are just working on things that needs maintenance. But yeah, this is the kitchen right here, as you can see. And apparently this whole area was for women, right? Not the men, but women, Jewish, non-Jewish, and the kids here from different countries, and they will put them there. All right, now this is their shower. Now over there, the building's been broken down. They had one for their sterilization room. I don't know, did the armies that came here broke it or not? But then there's this one building that still exists, and when I get closer I'll show you. It's the room where babies were born. So children were born here. The question is, were the women already pregnant at the time, or did they become pregnant here? I can imagine there was some form of love triangle thing going on here as well. Just in case you didn't believe me, 28 right here, and then if you look at 28, barracks used for infirmary. Women as well as their babies born in the camp were murdered here. Oh, by fentanyl injections. Fentanyl injections. Wow. Excuse me. The babies weren't born in that area, but they were born. I guess if they were born, yeah, because it was an infirmary. Wow. All right, guys, so this was the woman's side, and they had this huge space here, and this was the man's side. Basically the same type of layout. This is your kitchen right here. That was your shower. But as you can see, they have a lot of the buildings covered because of maintenance, or you know, I guess they're worried that something bad might happen to them. So one of the bright sides of having a couple of these places closed and the remodeling means there's more for you to see. You know, sometimes these videos might give people too much of an experience. However, when you have all this stuff closed, all the important parts of this history, you know, makes you wonder, should I come back to see it? If you're watching this video, feel encouraged to come visit this place, regardless if it's your heritage. I just think it's important to remember the past so we can avoid the same mistakes in the future. All right, we're walking into a new area right here. Okay. This is from that long corridor from where the female and male area is. And I think this is where they would come out of the train. Wow. Yep, this is where they would come out of the train, guys. Man, some bad things happen here, man. If what I saw in the movies, some bad things happen here, guys. Wow. They would come in through here, and they would line them up And yeah, man. Their material would also come in through here, or they would also ship out whatever they made through here as well. Guys, I see some bullet holes against this rhinestone wall. I can only imagine people were running and as you can see right here, bullet holes. People just trying to escape whatever they just got into. And might have been this stacked up right here. They would come in through here, right in there, and this would be their fate. A bunch of people not knowing what's happening to them. And once they realize they're gonna be in some form of prison, some of them break free using this dish as a way to escape. But it don't work out for them, for a lot of them. All right, guys, so here's some more pictures. All right, and so it's basically saying when the people would come, there would be a doctor, and he would evaluate the people to see which one was fit to work in the camp and which was not. And those who were not were led here and to go to the gas chamber. All right, guys, another area right here where a lot of the buildings have been torn down, and give you a little bit more perspective. Okay, so the people who were selected were brought here, I guess, first. It says Jews selected by the SSS to meet death in the gas chambers. Oh man, we got kids, man. So yeah, after talking to some of the people here, they confirmed this is the crematoriums right here. What they would do is they would take the ash from here and they would bring it all the way to the back over there. So let's go check it out. And then they also have the gas chambers, like what's left of the gas chambers over there too. So Let's go look at it. All right, guys. So this is the ruins of what used to be a gas/cremation chamber. All right. I thought the Russians who actually liberated this place destroyed it, but actually it was the SS Army. They were ordered to destroy this to get rid of any evidence of what they were doing here, but people still figured out what was going on. All right, and this is a diagram of how things were set up here. A is underground stairs where the deportees had to undress before they entered the gas chamber. This is I guess the area. C is the underground undressing area. I guess this is where they would undress. D, right here, was the gas chambers, right here. E was openings through which I guess the formula was poured through this area. So they would pour in the gas through here, I guess. F, right here, hall with 5 cremation area. So this would be what you see here, the areas where they would put the bodies after they were done. All right, so right here is something important I'm about to show you right now, guys. Right there. All right, so this is a memorial for the people who lost their lives here. I believe it's written in several different languages. Let's see if we can find the one in English. Okay, I found it. It's the last one here. Okay, here you go. And it says right here, forever, let this place be a cry for despair and a warning to humanity, where the Nazis murder about 1.5 million men, women, and children, mainly Jews, from various countries of Europe. And then the name of this camp right here. All right, guys, let's go to the other building. I think it's almost time to go to check that area out. All right, guys, we're back in the main building, and apparently we have a couple options you can do. I opted in to go to the city, so since we're going underground, and from underground we're gonna be allowed to walk in a special area. Wow, okay. The door just opens up. A secret area. All right, there you go. All right, it brings us underground a little bit. Okay. So we're going underground and going to the other side. Interesting. Guys, as we walk through this hall, we hear names being called. I can only assume it's names of the people who were trapped here.
Joseph Kudel.
All right, so that long walk leads you all the way here, guys. Okay, so this one speaks about the liberation of Auschwitz. All right, cool. Wow, so this is a group of Soviet soldiers with a former female prisoner. She was a nurse in the Polish Red Cross hospital, standing over a ditch of dead bodies. So yeah, remember what I was talking about? They still figured out what the Germans were doing. So this is them investigating the gas chamber right here. So this is the Polish Red Cross right here, attending to some of the sick prisoners. This is after they got liberated. And over here, there seems to be some information with more country names on it. It says this site is preserved for future generations thanks to all these different countries listed right here. Austria, France, Germany, Israel, Italy, Poland, Russia, Switzerland, United Kingdom, USA, Australia, and Zambia. And you got the rest of the names, guys, right here. So this, guys, is a map of the whole compound right here. A lot of this area is closed off, but it gives you a grand scale of things. This is actually where we had started our trip, in this area. And yeah, look how much they occupied. So this area used to be a bunch of homes, and they knocked it down to build their compound here. All right, guys, so there's so much to talk about in this particular area. So this diagram shows a lot of deep stuff. Like this particular field, this is the area where they would shoot the people. They would execute them by shooting here. This is section C right here. Section B is where they would register the prisoners. So this building right here is their registration building right here. They actually had a prisoner labor office. I guess they would register the prisoners and then say, okay, this is where you're gonna work here. And that's this office right here. All right, let's go, guys. Let's check it out. So this is how the first prisoners entered this area. This is Auschwitz number 1. I think this one housed around 20,000 prisoners. All right. All right, guys, let's walk in. Wow. So in this particular area, anybody that tried to escape, and they would kill them and they would leave the bodies here so everyone can see as a reminder, this could be your fate. Oh, it's like administration buildings in there. So right here, they would play music. And I guess just to keep the personal morale up. After reading this, they basically said the music was just to keep the prisoners orderly, so they didn't act up. So apparently there were some people who successfully escaped this prison. So the guards, what they would do is find their relatives, whoever their relatives were, and had them standing right here and tell them, hey, you know, until the inmates who escaped are found, the family will stay in this particular area. Now there was a sign here saying that they would do hanging. Now I see what they're talking about. Let's look at it. So in this particular area, the same tactics, they would do the roll call here. And if, let's say, for example, the prisoners came from this wall right here, this building, and someone was missing, they would take the remaining prisoners and have them sit here as an example, and just stay there until they could figure something out. And it didn't matter what type of weather condition, they would just stand here for a long period of time. Now, as I mentioned, this area was also where they would execute by hangings. So yeah, right here. And matter of fact, here's some depictions. Okay guys, in this section of Auschwitz, they would have over around 10,000 of the men on this side, prisoners of war. Some of them were Soviet Union prisoners, and a lot of them refused to not work. And if they refused to not work, they would have them outside here naked, all right? And I can only imagine it was during this type of weather, very cold, guys. And they said they would douse water, leading them to many to freeze to death. Wow. Check this out. We get to enter as if we're walking in through the bar area. Alright guys, so this is an interesting area right here. It said in 1947, Rudolf Haus, the founder and first commandant of the camp, was hanged at this location in accordance with the verdict of the Supreme National Tribunal of Poland. So he was able to get caught and they hanged him here. Nice. War is crazy, bro. War is crazy, man. War is crazy. We gotta learn how to love each other, man. Crazy. All right, guys. So this building right here served as one of their first cremation areas for the dead bodies. He says right here, you are entering a building where the SS murdered thousands of people. Please maintain silence here. Remember their suffering and show respect for their memory. I think we're going to first walk into H area, which is the storage. I think they opened up the area. Storage for urns and ashes and incendiaries. Here. The huge area for the C is the gas chamber and morgue. B is the washroom. All right, guys, let's go in. Excuse me. Yeah, so this has to be the morgue. And the gas area. slide the bodies here, slide it in. Yo, check this out. Seems to be an exhibit here. I think a lot of these buildings you can go in and see some important things. It says people deported from France to Auschwitz. I guess this might have been the French building. It says prisoners selected from the camp hospital or prisoners selected to death by the camp were killed here. In one such special procedure, it says 121 Polish and Jewish boys were killed in this room. The fact that they have this information is alarming. How detailed the Nazis were documenting what they were doing. It says almost every day a few dozen prisoners were killed by lethal injections. We're going deep in, guys. So as you go into these rooms, guys, they give you a biography of some of the people here. Honestly, if you are coming here, check the schedule. All right, this can be a full day trip, but check the schedule because right now it's kind of winter, and so they're open from I think 9 to 2. And anyone that comes after 2 won't be left in. If you're in here by 2 o'clock, you can stay for another 2-3 hours or something like that, but they won't let anybody else in. So keep in mind, you have enough time to see a lot of this stuff, but if you don't want to be rushing, come early, okay? I actually took a train here to do it. A lot of people I noticed they came here with their own tour company. All right. Guys, one thing I wanted to mention that I noticed about being here, there is a lot of people here. And this is the first time I've been around so much people. And it's this quiet. It's very interesting. All right. Going to a new building right here. We're in the second alleyway. So these buildings keep going in and in. All right, here. So here's a really good depiction of where people are coming from in terms of landing here in Auschwitz. The train transits right here. It's all these different countries in Europe right here. Here are the numbers of the nationalities of the different people who spent their time here in Auschwitz. All right. Now, when it says 25,000 prisoners from other ethnic groups, that could also include some African migrants who are living here, or Afro-Germans, or freedom fighters from different countries that were black as well. All right. I think it's important to highlight that. I think when people think about this place, they don't realize that there were some African descendants or black people here as well. The 2011 film Sonny Boy is based on a true story about a man named Waldemar Nods, a black man from Suriname, and a Dutch woman named Rika who fall in love despite societal prejudice during the Nazi era. Together, they courageously sheltered Jews and resistance fighters during World War II. In the movie, Waldemar experiences highlight the rarely told story of black individuals' persecutions in concentration camps, as he is ultimately captured to a camp facing the horrors of racism and war. The film is a very powerful exploration of love, resilience, and the impact of racial discrimination during the Holocaust. So I guess this building is just basically highlighting the transit to Auschwitz, and in a way, people didn't even know what they were signing up for. As you can see, all these bags and clothing and all these different things. Why did they have all these things if they were going to a death camp. They didn't know they were going to a death camp. They just told them, get in the train. They were going somewhere else. They were being relocated. Up to this part, no one knew they had any problems. No one knew. And I think this is when the area where they started to realize something was different. Right? So when they realized things was going to be a little bit different here. All right, and then this is them separating the crew. One crew, I guess this is probably the labor crew that they felt was good enough. And as you can see, it's a huge crew of people over there that don't know where they're going. When you look at the demeanor of the soldier faces, this seems normal at this point. This is the area where I guess they convince everybody, hey, leave your things, you'll come back and get them. This is the area, so, wow. You know, when you just look at the soldiers of the SS, you know, it seems like a lot of them just taking pride of what they were doing, just following an idea of patriotism of their country. You know, you gotta highlight that, you know. The soldiers, you know, they're willing to fight for their country, whatever ideals they are. So it's always important to pay attention to who is leading them. I'm sure there were some in the group who knew what they were involved with was wrong, but they couldn't get away with it unless they try to help them low key. There had to be some. Next room, I didn't film. Oh my gosh, guys. So it's like a glass room like this one behind me, but it's filled from top to bottom with human hair. Apparently, what the Nazis would do is they would cut the hair of the dead bodies and use it as wool to keep themselves warm or for other things. It was the real deal. I was not ready for that imagery. It could fill this whole thing. It was longer. It could fill this whole thing. It was, something I was not ready for. Prosthetic legs.
Hey! Wow!
Insane. You don't see any knives here because, well, obviously they'll probably would use it for something else, melt it down. Wow. Oh my God. these bags obviously would be run through so they could get the valuables out, whatever, anything that was valuable they would take from the bags. Man, guys, the images I just saw as far as the items, it was something I wanted to highlight is it wouldn't just stop for the personal items. After cremation, they would look to see if anyone had gold and they would take that as well. Anything that was valuable from hair to the gold they would use. So guys, I found this interesting room in another building, and it's talking about the Holocaust. I guess it's like a prayer room. So we have something high lighting up the wall in Hebrew. You can't see it, but we'll change to my other camera. These are some of the Jewish families that were affected. The last names are what you want to pay attention to. An artist brought back to life some of the drawings made by the Jewish kids that were here. And it mentions, fragile yet strong, these pencil drawings glimmer from the walls of the barracks. Signals sent to us from the childhood swept away and lost in the Shoah. So you start seeing some drawings on the wall. Man, just going through that last exhibit of the kids painting is heartbreaking. Just seeing the imagery they were portraying. You can see soldiers with guns shooting, injured people dead, hangings. It's heartbreaking. You would see a lot of birds. It was as if they were projecting themselves as birds, or maybe became friends with the birds that were in the area. I can imagine how much animals were flying in the area because of all the dead bodies. It's just they wanted to fly away.
Try to figure out who I am. Not sure what I'm doing here. And the days don't work out the way I thought they would. And before you there was no one who understood. Never found somewhere I fit in. Till I met you, I was feeling lost. But you're the one who can make it go away. All you have to do is look at me. Sometimes I can't breathe, but it feels like you're the one who saves me. When I try, don't succeed. Yeah, it feels like you're the one who saves me. The one who saves me.
Alright guys, I'm leaving. But before I leave, I just wanted to say a message. Just say a few things. I hope you felt something watching this video. It's a reminder of how harsh the reality of genocide can be. Sometimes we don't see it, we're far away, so it doesn't affect us, which is one of the reasons why I was glad to come here to show you examples of that. Also to emphasize, guys, genocide comes in different forms. A lot of times it comes in war. This place serves as a reminder to us humans how evil we can get and how evil we can be. A lot of innocent people died here. And as of today, there are a lot of people innocent dying in the name of war. This is also a reminder that you know, genocide is not just about one type of ethnic group. You know exactly what I'm talking about. I want to say thanks for watching. More on the way from your boy, Ace. I'm always full of surprises. You never know where I might end up.